Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I think I'll speak for all of us when we say we're just excited for another weekend in Bogle. Um, we're excited to be playing in the Supers. Our fans were incredible last weekend. We expect them to continue that momentum this weekend, and this team's ready to go. So, looking forward to it.
Ethan, go ahead.
Yeah, for each of you, just obviously, a big weekend with there's stakes involved. But how do you just kind of calm and settle those nerves going into a weekend where you don't necessarily feel that?
Don't feel like nerves.
Just not let the nerves like overtake you.
I think it's just trusting in our process and trusting that we've been doing this all season. Me and Wick, we've been doing this 4 years, Ella 2 years, so it's not our first rodeo. I'm just taking everything for what it is, and for me at least, trusting in my teammates and trusting in our plan.
Yeah, I think it's also just like soaking in another weekend. It's the last weekend we get to play at home, so I think that's a really big deal. Not a lot of teams are getting to play at home at this time of year, and so I think that's, most of it.
You said getting to soak in another weekend at home. I also heard about the president of the Bogle Berm getting to get another weekend at home. Could you fill us in maybe on your dog and how he's become someone that the team loves?
I don't know. I just during Bark in the Park, she gets dressed a lot. My mom likes to dress her up in all these costumes, and so she had overalls and a cowboy hat on, and I think that's what started it. But yeah, she's been my biggest supporter along with my mother. I love her. So.
And her name?
Her name is Bo.
Okay. Each of you, just the program's been so close in this round so many years. Just what makes y'all think this can be the team that gets y'all through Super Regionals?
I think there's so much love going around this group of girls, and not to say that there wasn't love in the past year, but this year we're just so committed to what we want to do, and I think when we play together, there's nothing we can't accomplish, so why not this year?
Ella, how's the basketball game?
I'm not very good at basketball. I do love the sport, though. I like all sports. I like to shoot it up a little bit, but I'm not very good. But I have a lot of heart, so that's all that matters.
I like that you immediately grab the basketball, taking the edge off. It's
I feel like you would foul out really quickly.
Yeah, middle school, I was out by the first half. Get me in the paint. I'm a monster. What can I say?
That's right.
Just gonna drive to the hoop.
For all of you, and Ella, we'll start there. What growing up as softball players, I know you're not there yet, but what does the destination of Oklahoma City? What does that mean to you?
It's my dream. It's one of the main things I fell in love with playing softball for. Just playing at the highest level, playing against the best competition in the world, and I think Oklahoma City, that's where it's at, and just to be there, it would make everything worth it. That's why I do it, especially with these group of girls. I love them. They're my family, and I want to do it together.
Yeah, I think I took a leap of faith entering the transfer portal, and I think I'm so grateful and blessed that to be here and play with this team. I came here to win. We've won a lot, so I love that. And I think, like she said, it would just be the cherry on top to be able to get to the World Series, play against the best of the best, knowing that, we'll be there playing against them, but also being one of them. So, yeah.
Kailey, a lot throughout the postseason, throughout the season, the term confidence around this team has come up a lot. Where do you feel that comes from, and what is the confident level being able to be at home?
I think it just stems from our preparation and knowing that all the long hours that we've spent in the fall and even this spring have made all of these high pressure situations feel that much smaller. I also think, I've said this a lot, the fans at Bogle help us with our confidence a lot just because they're rocking all the time, and so they're really into the game, and I think that definitely helps us in a sense and definitely can bring some nerves to the other team.
For, I guess, Kailey and Ella to follow up on that, what's your message to fans? Hey, don't just show up, but, be borderline obnoxious this weekend. What are you guys looking for?
No, yeah, definitely. I think shout out to the group in center field because they're always rocking. Yes, they're always rocking. I'm going to need that same energy from everybody in the stands and everybody in the berm because they know where it's at.
Yeah, shout out Dakota's corner, shout out Ella's hot corner in left field. I think for the fans, the message is this, show up and show out. we know that we're going to give you a party with, the hits and the pitches and just the dugout energy, and we just want to see that reciprocated.
Kailey and Ella, just y'all were part of last year's team, and y'all felt that pain. How do you think that just that feeling that y'all had fueled you to get to this point?
Not to get all, a little crazy in the head, but when we lost last year against Ole Miss, it was very emotional for me. I actually stood and I made myself watch, Ole Miss celebrate. And, I saw Bree break down and just, I let that fuel me, and I lost sleep for, months over it. So I think about that feeling almost every single day, and I never want to feel like that again. So I've done everything on the field, off the field, just preparing myself for what this weekend is going to be. So I know I'm ready. There's nothing in my mind that is telling me otherwise.
I think the majority of this team coming back, I think, has all been through the same thing, and they were there last year, so they know that feeling. And I think that has really fueled us through the entire year. Like Ella said, I think we're ready.
Yeah, Ella, you mentioned Bree. You now have 2 more seniors, that you've gotten to just kind of guide you through your first 2 years of college. What have those seniors that you've been able to surround yourself with meant to not just you, but Peyton and Sailor? Like, what have they meant to you to get such great senior leadership both years?
Yeah, I've learned so much from, everyone that I've met in this program, but especially, the transfers and the seniors. Their wisdom and just their experience, getting to learn from them. Like I said, on the field and off the field, it's amazing. And like these 2 girls right here have become some of my closest friends, and I wouldn't want it any other way. They're amazing.
You're so cute.
Ella, just to follow up on what Ethan had asked, when you say you lost sleep, what was it about, I guess, the kind of traumatic experience there? Was it the pain of losing, being so close, just how much you loved your teammates and seeing them go through? Like, what were those emotions like?
It was everything, anger, sadness, frustration, everything that you just said. It kind of bottled up all up in me, and it took a long time for me to, understand those feelings. And I've let it fuel me every single day because, I love those girls so much, and I wanted it so bad for them. And now I just want to give it all to this team that I have right now because I love them just the same.
Just for any of you guys or whoever wants to answer it, just looking at this Duke lineup, the Duke pitching staff, I guess just what stands out about them as you guys prepare for the weekend?
I would say they definitely have a very explosive offense. Just watching film on them and seeing games from this past season, they can swing it very well. And I think they also have a very deep pitching staff, and they have so many different arms that do a lot of different things. So we're ready for it all, and we think it's going to be a really great matchup.
Do you have anything on Zoom for the student athletes? All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. Goodbye.
What? Can I take this? Can I take this?
I think they might need for at the end of the weekend. You can though. When you go off with like 2 bombs tomorrow, you're gonna be sitting right behind it again.
Ethan, start us off.
Yeah, just Duke. What stands out about them compared to other teams you faced this season?
I mean, like Ella just said, they have a really explosive lineup. They have an offense that's produced consistently and produced a lot, and they have a lot of tools there. And I mean, she nailed it. She nailed our prep. They have a lot of arms. They have a deep pitching staff. They rely on all of them. So we've seen really elite teams. This is another one.
Said she nailed it. What's that like? When you hear your players, y'all have been so focused this week, but they're relaying they've been locked in as y'all.
I was really curious how they're going to answer. I'm like, are they going to give anything away? What are they going to do? We do a lot of prep and a lot of video, and I thought she did a really great job. It means that she's balanced everything we've told her and kind of hit the high points for your needs.
Great. You and Marissa both have, different. It's different forms, but both have built up programs. Just do you see any similarities there between what she's had to go through and what you've had to go through?
Well, I mean, it's a good question. She started from nothing. So like literally just forming a program, just like there was a vision and an idea of a program, and then she made it into everything that it is. And so it's just incredibly impressive what she's done there in such a short amount of time. And so I don't know. There was history here. There's it wasn't start from scratch, build a roster, start with, I think their first year they had like a handful of players, and then like you're building it literally from nothing. And so I guess there's similarities, but like a completely different challenge.
And then just what feels different about this team? You've played in the Super Regionals before, but what feels maybe different about this team compared to in the past?
This team has just been so level all year. They haven't really rode the highs and lows that this game can throw in your face and challenge you with. And I do think that we've had teams that have done a pretty good job with that, but not as good to the level that this team has done that. And I think that's the biggest thing. They control their emotions really well. They're really emotionally mature and elite at what they do. And so when you have those things, you are poised to play, as close to yourself as you can when the stakes are high. And they've done that so far. And obviously this weekend means more. You guys continue to tell us that. We got it. We know. We know what's at stake. And we've played ourselves into that position. And so we've done that by trusting ourselves. This team has stayed the course so well. They've been very present. And they're as ready as they can be.
I had a question for you, Courtney, about you and Shauna, what you guys have accomplished in your years here, and how close have you become with Shauna?
Shauna's my buddy. She's incredible. What she has done with her program, it is just, she's been elite year in and year out, and there is something so remarkable about the consistency of that in college athletics. And while it's remarkable, it's not surprising at all if you know Shauna away from the course. She is as good as they come. Her integrity, her character, who she is as a human, she pours her whole entire heart in everything that she does. So remarkable and not at all surprising.
They'll start in California tomorrow while you guys are starting here. Do you guys connect at night, text? What do y'all do to stay in touch, keep up?
We're more of morning people. So it's usually just like encouraging each other. I think we know, I think we have a lot of the same challenges. I think we are very similar in just who we are with our families, with our teams, with all of those things. And I'm fortunate that our families are close too. But yeah, we are encouragers. When they're finishing down the stretch in their last round, it's like, you got this. There's no one better than you, and she's always there with an encouraging word too. And I just value our friendship so much.
Yeah, Parker Staggs obviously was a student here, student manager, and then was an assistant at Duke and is now back. I guess just this year, having him back, how nice has that been? Where have you maybe seen him grow the most as a coach since he's been back? And yeah, how much have you enjoyed just working with him again?
I've enjoyed it so much. We had 6 years together, and then he went to Duke for a year. And when Danielle took the assistant position at Cal, he was our first and fortunately our only call. So the chance to get to bring him home. That's fine. I'm fine. The chance to bring him home and what he's meant to this program, he's had a hand in building it. But for the ever-changing roles that head coaches are tasked with, we're wearing more hats than we ever signed on for. And doing the pitching, it was a no-brainer to have him come back and share that load with me. He's a jack of all trades, so you could see him out on the field at any point just carving up our hitters. Like he's a worker, and he does so many things so well, but he has been a huge addition, and getting to bring him back has helped me like personally so much, but he just adds so much knowledge, and he's a grinder. So he's been a huge addition for us.
Courtney, for you as a coach, just having been here, so many times, I'm sure you learn from it, but does the approach change from year to year, or is it largely just the same process and getting to this point and preparing for the weekend?
I think that for us, we are creatures of habit, and each team asks something different of you, even though our system stays consistent. Who we are is consistent, but our approach for this team has been different than last year's team throughout the year. So if you watch this team really closely, like they are wired differently than last year's team, so they're going to ask something different of us as we move through this really challenging season. I think the question always is has everything we've done up to this point, is that gonna prepare us for this weekend? And unfortunately, we don't know until we're in it. We don't know. I can tell you that we've left no stone unturned. I can tell you that this team has prepared and approached everything that we've asked them to their utmost ability every single day. And I know and they feel as prepared as they can. And now they just have to go trust that. So we don't know. We don't know until tomorrow when we line it up. But I can tell you that they're ready.
There's potentially some weather coming in. How much
What else is new?
Yeah. How much is that something that you're communicating with, or is it literally just like, hey, tell us when we got to show up, kind of thing?
We know as an outdoor sport that there's always going to be potentially those challenges. We had a pop-up last Friday that wasn't even on the radar. And so I think it's more so, it's like whenever we're in a meeting with like Cal or any of the indoor sports, like, how is that sunny and 70, whatever it is, 65, whatever it is in here, how is that treating you every day, with a clock? So, it is what it is. We're an outdoor sport. It's that time of year where there's going to be rain, and we'll handle whatever comes our way.
Do you have any questions on Zoom for Coach Deifel? All right. Thank you, Coach.
Oh, cool. Thanks.